Philly Sports, Love and Pain. I'm Dave. That's Kenny.
Hi.
The Birds are Super Bowl fucking champs, baby. Let's
It
go.
apparently doesn't matter because Super Bowls no longer count.
Let's go. Why are you so far away from the microphone? You're like sound like.
Shut up. Fuck you. I got a surprise for you.
You have a surprise for me?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait. What is it?
I figured this out a little too late in my life.
What is it?
I'm working on it. Did it happen?
No.
All right. Huh?
Oh, okay. Custom, little custom background action here over here.
I
with
don't
the
think you're ready for this, jelly. I don't think you're ready for this.
jelly.
Hey, guess what? Guess what me and you have in common with the Philadelphia Eagles?
What?
A Lombardi.
It almost doesn't. Here, there it is.
There it is.
Let's go, Lombardi. Let's go.
We fucking did it. I told you. If this is like, I have nailed this season to a T. You have to admit, I think I've.
Oh, I can't wait until we talk to Jake about this. Kenny in here fucking tooting his horn again.
Am I wrong?
Toot toot, motherfucker.
I'm not wrong.
No,
though.
you're not wrong. And you were fucking confident going into that game on Sunday. And I mean, so were they. I mean, fuck. Listen, when you listen back to all the mic'd up shit, man.
See, what you guys don't know is I hosted the Eagles for a spaghetti team dinner, and I got them juiced up. They were ready for me.
See, what we don't know is that Kenny is actually in the locker room each day.
I just provide all the Uncrustables.
Cases and cases of Uncrustables. By the way, speaking of Uncrustables, I saw a dude who was packing for the parade, and he was like, "I'm fucking ready for the parade." He had a backpack full of airplane bottles of Fireball and vodka. He had Cheetos, Doritos, one bottle of water, and about 15 Uncrustables.
Well, let me put you on something, people. Her name is Charlotte.
You can't see it because you're your background.
God damn it.
You tried to get all fancy with it. Now we can't see you.
How about now?
I can see. Yeah, now.
Charlotte Crustoff from Costco. I tell you what, these things are better than Smuckers, man.
Yeah, look at all the ingredients on there. Can you read any of them?
It's actually not that bad, really, honestly.
Yeah, and all these Klulu and palm oil and
nope.
Good for you. But what I was gonna say was the Uncrustable. I saw Uncrustables at Wawa for $4.
Nah, you were reading the wrong thing because I just looked yesterday. They're $1.59, two for
at Wawa.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes more sense. $4. Yeah. I was like, get the fuck out of here.
There is something on here called rapeseed.
Yeah, rapeseed oil.
And then it says anal bleed oil. So I don't know. We're gonna see what that does.
Well,
dude, I just felt this whole year. I said this shit. I'm just gonna toot it. This is gonna be the only time I'll ever be right like this. I felt so good about this season. Like I told you, I told everyone. It just felt like you get an all-pro MVP type running back, and it changes everything because you don't have to rely on Miles fucking Sanders and DeAndre Swift and Kenny Gainwell. Because if you really think about it, what was that? The Super Bowl run, they didn't use Sanders. Like, look at the stats. They used Gainwell.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't really use Sanders, but that year was weird, man.
They had no business being in the Super Bowl.
I know, and that's why this one was different, right? Because, and we're going to get into this all night because we got our boys coming in from the Eagles roundtable that we did all the way in the back in the beginning of the season.
Someone said Saquon Barkley was going to be a bust.
I can't wait. I can't wait till Mike gets on here and we laugh in his face. A bust is crazy. Bust is crazy, right?
He said a fucking motherfucking bust.
I listened back to a little bit of it. I didn't have a chance to listen to the whole thing, but I listened back to a little bit of it. We were a lot right. Like we were a lot right. A lot of us on this podcast were a lot right. And I was just saying, it's fucking awesome, man. It's so fucking cool.
This season felt different from start to finish, and we were all remember it. Like just the way things fell for them. Like, oh, the buys in week 5. Are you kidding me? This is like the worst thing ever. And then you've read some ridiculous stat about the buys of someone in the, like a buy in the first 5 years has never won a Super Bowl or five weeks or whatever. And I was just like, everything couldn't have worked out.
It didn't matter. No, none of it mattered. And I looked at the stats. Like the stats, like I don't know what the fuck they did during the bye week, but whatever they did during the bye week, they need to bottle that the fuck up and just hold on to it, because the defense was different outside of after the bye week.
Well, you know exactly what happened.
What?
The regular season started.
No. Oh, okay.
The first 4 weeks of preseason, people.
Don't start that shit. You know that that's a fucking button for me. You know. You're supposed to say trigger warning before you say that.
I mean, there were some like the Cleveland Browns game when I was there. That was fucking pitiful.
The Browns game was bad. I mean, they at least they won. I was at the Falcons game where they lost, and that was terrible.
So was I. Okay.
You were in spirit. What a season, man! Like that,
Can you believe that happened this year? It felt like 4 years ago.
No, I know it does. It feels like forever. And that the 2 weeks leading up to the Super Bowl was like the longest fucking 2 weeks of our lives, dude.
Well, and it's so funny to me because it's just like the amount of disrespect the Eagles have got. The Eagles
still.
I'm not saying this because we're fans of this team. They are got to be the most disrespected team I've ever heard of.
I mean, find me another one, because I mean I don't know.
They were the most dominant team to ever win a Super Bowl, and I will stamp that. Name me a more dominant team.
The Niners are pretty dominant.
Not like this from start to finish, man. That the ball was kicked and it was over. The game was over. I hear you.
No, listen, especially here in Philly, like, listen, man, I don't think that we've ever seen a sports team in this town, in this city, like this ever in any sport. It doesn't matter what sport. This team was dominant. I mean, dominant, and it sucks because, like, on one hand, you want to look at it and you want to be like, you want to live in that and revel in that forever. But like, let's be real, everything moves on, and like this team's never going to play again. Nope. And it's going to be a different team. There's going to be some pieces that are different, but damn it, this team was probably the best team I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And that Super Bowl was the greatest game I've ever watched.
Although I do have a bit of a hot take, maybe, is that like it's kind of boring.
No, it's not boring.
I'm just saying, I'm I don't know. Maybe I wanted to feel a little bit, like maybe around the neck. I wanted to feel something.
No, I get it. I know what you're saying. Like you want it's like the drama thing. You want the drama a little bit.
But we also had the drama in 18, and that was fucking terrible.
All we've had is drama.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, and 20, whatever it was. What year are we in? 25, 22. That was drama.
All we've had is drama. All we ever have here is drama. You know what I mean? It's like
so exciting, man. It's just, and you know what's funny is like they go from like, oh, we're not going to listen to a franchise that has 0 Super Bowls to, well, now we have 2. And guess how many teams are ahead of us? 8 or 9.
8 or 9 what?
Teams have more Super Bowls than us.
Oh, okay. I mean, that's not that bad.
That's what I'm fucking saying. So, like, you know, the Cowboys fans are so funny, and I get it. Like, they're going to hold on to those Super Bowls, and they should, right? 5 is an impressive number.
It is.
But, like, they haven't done shit since I came out. Well, 21 years, so 10 since I was 10.
I mean, dude, they've been. You need a VCR to remember what they did,
which is incredible, right?
It's crazy. I mean, I don't even care about them, to be honest.
Yeah, fuck you.
And you know what? Like, it's gonna take a long time for the Eagles to catch up. It's fine. We all know
Well, I
that.
was thinking about it. If they get one more, I mean, they're there, right?
I mean, you're at 2, 3 is like very respected territory.
Right, like big time.
Yeah, especially if it's the same fucking,
If it's Hurts Sirianni,
yeah, like that's whew. If they can win another one in the next like 3 years, holy shit, dude. Whew. I mean, and what's to say they can't? Jalen Hurts, I just saw something today. Jalen Hurts is 1 year older than Jaden Daniels.
Well, first off, I can't wait till the regression of Daniels. Like, and I don't think he's gonna
I
be
know,
like.
you're dying for this.
I can't handle it, man. Like, I used to think Cowboys fans were delusional, and they are, but they've been delusional for
definitely are.
25 years, right? The
Yeah,
Commanders come out this year, get to an NFC Championship, get absolutely fucking smoked,
smoked.
and then they're posting highlights that are like, "We're the only team to beat the Eagles." In
And then
17 or 18
and then
games.
I'm seeing people like, oh, that Eagles game doesn't even matter. We beat the 1 seed. What the fuck?
yeah.
The amount of
Super Bowl
goalposts,
don't count.
the amount of goalposts moving over the last week is absolutely fucking insane, dude.
I never seen nothing like, dude. I honestly, Dave, if they get
Penny,
3
didn't
Super
we
Bowls-
literally have someone say today that the Super Bowls don't count?
yeah,
Or
because
Super Bowls are meaningless now because Hurts won one.
Tua and Sunshine are better, along with like Herbert and obviously. Listen, you can put your line wherever you want, but like at the end of the day, do you want regular season MVP or do you want a Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP? Right? Like stats should not matter when you're discussing accolades. I don't understand when this changed. It only changed because the Eagles won.
But even the stats, like, okay, the only stat that people stare at is yards.
If you have the best offensive line and the best running back, what do you think's going to happen to your air yards? And honestly, let's not act like he can't throw the fucking ball. I mean, I'm tired of it.
He's just not. He doesn't have the arm strength that some of those other guys have. That doesn't mean that he can't be accurate and he can't make dime throws 40, 50 yards down the field.
Yeah,
he doesn't have the zip that other guys have. Like I'm talking about.
Are you talking about like consistency?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about like the on a line, like frozen rope, 15 to 25 yard throws like that.
Okay, so you're saying teardrops.
He can throw a rainbow and drop it in a coffee can like nobody else.
I'm on the same page as you, and honestly.
And so what? That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, and it can be annoying. Like no one's saying it's not annoying. It's really annoying when you lose, right? Like that's super annoying.
But it's not. It's annoying. Annoying is fine, but to say it's not good and it's not as good as others. No, you're fucking wrong, dude.
Crazy.
You're fucking wrong. These are the same people that want to like nullify or fucking get the tush push play out of the fucking. It's a quarterback sneak. Everybody's fucking doing it,
guys. If they get rid of the tush push, what do you think's gonna happen? They're still gonna score 9.5 out of 10 times.
Well, so does that mean you can't run a quarterback sneak anymore?
Well, then they'll just move the goalpost, and then it will be QB sneak should be banned. You know what I want? I want Nick Sirianni. This is what I want. This is what I want for next year. I want him to not do the tush push until it needs to happen. So I want him to do the first 2 downs to be just regular QB.
You know what I want him to do? I want him to line up and fake it every time.
I don't care what they do. I just want them to do anything but the tush push until it needs to happen. Right? Like say it's like third and you need to score here, then we're tushing. But for the other ones, we're not doing that. We're just gonna dive. QB draw, QB dive. I don't know. It's just a fucking dumbass argument. You got one of the best running backs in the league, and you're thinking that he's not going to get in.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. the tush push play, which by the way, Jalen Hurts fucking hates when people call it the tush push, which I think it's kind of funny, but it can't be banned because it's a play, and it's there. You can't. What are you going to say that you can't have the formation, like you can't have two guys behind a quarterback? Okay, so then like can you not run fucking I formation anymore too?
Well, they don't run it anyway, but I hear your point. I
At the goal line they do. Some people.
no one runs the I formation. That's a Madden play. That's a Madden pipe dream.
I mean, why don't they?
I don't know. I love the I formation.
Is it you think it's CTE?
They all get CTE. That's the best part of it.
I know, but I wonder if that's why. Like, I wonder if it's because of CTE. Like,
We gotta. I don't know. I don't see why they can't do it again next year. I mean, what are the free agents?
So we're gonna talk about that with the squad
Okay.
when we bring all the boys in. The free agent thing is one of our topics of conversation for tonight. And I'll have the list ready. But
I wanted to say something.
okay.
Was that not the most classic Philadelphia Eagles Andy Reid coached game that we've seen?
Oh, back when he was here?
Yeah, that was every conference championship game
Oh,
against
my
the
God.
Bucks, against the Cardinals. That fucking Cardinals one I sent you the other day, where they beat them on Thanksgiving like 41-0 or whatever, and then they lost to them in the NFC Championship game.
Yep.
That was an Andy Reid masterclass on fucking Sunday, man.
And so they had no answers. They had no answers at all.
He fucking abandoned the run,
Completely abandoned the run. Didn't even try to run.
especially with his quarterback struggling.
I mean, I know you have Mahomes, right? But like, I don't know what was wrong with Travis Kelce, but dude looked like he did not want to be on the field. It was very weird.
They had Super Bowl fatigue. Let me tell you how silly that statement is. On their Super Bowl runs, have they not had the bye?
I think they've always had the bye, haven't they?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe once, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know that actually. I'm not sure.
So it's 3 extra games. I don't want to hear it.
Each year.
I get it, but it's still. Are you fucking kidding me? You're telling me?
No,
they
you
get to the
can't.
final stage?
No. You can't use that as an excuse that they were tired this year. They were tired. No way.
Super Bowl fatigue. I'll tell you fucking what. I'd love to have some Super Bowl fatigue.
Yeah. Could you imagine ever having Super Bowl fucking fatigue in Philly? Like, come on, dude. I don't know. I couldn't believe my eyes. I was sitting there watching this game, and I just, like, from the moment the game started, it just was like complete and utter domination. And you're just like waiting for the Chiefs to find something, right? You're waiting for the Chiefs to hit that one play.
They
Like-
had nothing.
And they had fucking no answers, dude. And they didn't even blitz. How insane is that?
Not one, right? Where'd my thing go?
Did you freeze?
Can you hear me?
I hear you. I hear you.
Love hurts.
It's a good slogan by Jordan.
Oh, they killed it. I love it too. They put all their eggs in. They hadn't done none of that shit for years.
Oh, you're fucking with your background. That's why I couldn't see you.
No, that I just put one on because I don't know what the fuck happened. So it was weird. Did you see that?
I see it.
They didn't call that penalty, and I mean it wouldn't have changed anything, but it's interesting.
Well, it could have been a 30-point penalty, right?
I'll never not laugh at them being like, oh, see, we don't get all the calls all the time.
It couldn't have gone. It couldn't have been any better, honestly. Like they didn't get like 2 or 3 calls, and they're like, look.
Yeah, no, listen, this is what happens when you complain, right? You bitch and bitch and bitch and bitch and bitch and bitch and bitch. It gets to the biggest stage, and they go, we can't. We're not going to do it again because we'll get crucified if we give them a 3-peat on an A.J. Brown OPI.
But you truly believe that the refs were skewed the other way just because they didn't want to give them a 3-peat?
No, I just think that they weren't going to give him the ticky tacky floppy fucking calls. That's all I think. Listen, it's just like the NBA. LeBron's going to get certain calls that, you know, other superstars aren't going to get, right?
Okay.
It's just how the games are all officiated. So I just think like complaining enough and everyone's seeing everything, they're not going to call all that. Like they would have called that a week ago.
You think so?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I think you could be right. You could be
I'm
right.
not saying that. Oh, it flipped the fucking stadium pulse, right? Like it didn't do any of that, but like it definitely. I think it put a little bit of noise to the, the ticky tacky. Like that's a penalty. They got to call that, right? Like that would be we'd be fucking furious the other way around. But also 10 seconds before that was a chokehold hold, right? So it's like they missed all around. I thought they ref perfectly. I thought it was a great game.
Yeah, and how many times was fucking Jalen Carter held? I mean, come on.
Oh, every fucking time. And that OPI, I know like it really pisses everyone off, but it was OPI.
He hit him in the head.
I mean, you can't do it. I mean, it is what it is. Now, is it ticky-tacky? Maybe, but it's the right call. And then that call on Goddard. Like, those two completely washed each other out. And then after that, it was straight sailing, I thought at least.
It was. It was pretty good. It was pretty good. They called so they called that one personal foul, I guess, right? You disappeared again. I think you're there still though, right?
Love hurts.
Yes, you're
I
still
can
there.
morph into the background so everyone can enjoy it.
Oh, you can hide. Oh. So what was there? I want to just check something real quick because we're getting close to 9:00. We're gonna start having our boys pop in. I see Mike down there. The final individual stats. I wonder what the number was if you bet that Hurts would be the leading rusher in the game.
Hey, Dave, you got the snap count?
Kenny.
I text it Dave every hour.
It's like you got snap counts. I'm like thinking to myself, like, why the fuck do you need snap counts so bad?
I wanted to know how many snaps Graham played was the only reason.
That was all you wanted?
All I wanted, because like honestly, I saw him out there every play, but I know he wasn't. You know what I'm trying to say?
He definitely wasn't. Yeah, for sure. I don't know. I don't even know how to break this game down because it just went so crazy our way, and I kept my screen name today as 3% because that was the stat going into the Super Bowl. The percentage of games where the Chiefs lost by more than 2 scores, or by more than 10 points. I'm sorry, 10 or more. 3%.
When you told me that, I said, "Wrap it up." Wrap it up. That's a bow, baby.
Oh man, I just I watched it again. Did you watch it?
No, not yet. I'm not ready.
You're not ready.
Nah. I don't want to like.
No. I mean the condensed. I watched the game again.
No, I know.
Like, I didn't watch it to like take it in.
Yeah, no, I know. I don't want to like ever forget like right now I'm just like stewing in like the actual live moment of it still. Like I'm not ready to like relive it, I don't think. Like I like the plays that are burned in my brain and I don't want to be skewed. That's all. I'll watch it in a couple weeks, but
yeah, I was going to say you got to watch it again.
I mean, the condensed version is just what, the Eagles the whole time? I mean, it can't be anything on the other side.
It's basically the Eagles running their offense, you know.
It was so funny when Gene called him, what do you call Juju? Like poo-poo choo-choo.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I was cracking up when he caught those first 2 early balls. I was like, this fucking guy he's going to poo all over us. And then nothing.
How about that? Two picks. I mean, Mahomes just looked inept, which is fucking crazy. You couldn't have drawn it up any better.
Who am I? I'm Nick Bosa. I think we gave everyone the blueprint on how to beat the Eagles. Well, we gave everyone the blueprint on how to beat Mahomes, right? If you can get pressure from the 4, it's over.
Yeah. Yeah, breaking news, a good defensive line is good.
Yeah, and like honestly, like it has nothing to do with like Mahomes. It has everything to do with that line, right? Like if that line's any good, they're able to kind of break the will of that rush, right? That full rush.
Mahome.
He cut his hair.
I saw that. He went to a funeral and cut his hair, cut those locks. You know, out with the
Nice.
old. He's kind of going like, is this like the Nick Sirianni move? Like, Nick Sirianni?
I like how everyone's like, "Congratulations, you unleashed a pissed off Patrick Mahomes." Okay, but how about the offensive line?
People are just in their feelings, man.
How about Isaac Pacheco?
Who?
Yeah, exactly. How about like Travis Kelce retiring? Like people are so fucking dumb.
Oh, don't worry, Kenny. They're going to be right back there again next year. They just pencil it in every year.
Well, I mean, like you could argue the AFC might be as weak as we think it is.
Well, Jalen Hurts looks pretty good against the AFC.
You got fucking Lamar Jackson, who for some reason when the playoffs happen, he's like, "Oh, I'm Helen Keller," and then fucking Josh Allen for some reason every time he plays Kansas City, shits himself. I don't understand.
I don't know. But
The Bills. Before you let them in, the Bills remind me of the Eagles that went to the Super Bowl last time, the 2022 Super Bowl. Like they're always like a piece or two away, but they keep losing other pieces, and then they can't fix the other. Like you know what I mean? They'll fix the pieces to mix in, but then the other piece leaves. You know?
yes, 100%. Yes.
It happens. It's been the Bills' whole entire life. Early '90s.
Oh, their 90s life was just atrocious.
Someone
Putrid.
said all their shirts got the Ghana, and they said that they must all be really big Buffalo Bills fans.
That's so fucked up. It's so fucked up.
I love it.
All right, is it time, Kenny? Kenny's favorite time.
I hate it.
Kenny's favorite time of the year when we bring in all these people.
I hate them all.
And Kenny struggles because he's got ADHD or whatever, one of the ADs. Without further ado, and we are expecting one more, but boys, welcome.
Look at this.
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, Joe?
Scumbags.
Mike, Gordy, yes, let's go. Swoop pillow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hide.
We got a cum pillow.
I told these Johns, Kenny. You don't even know.
So, Mike, I appreciate you just wearing it right away. I do. I appreciate it.
It was too bad of a take.
I mean, what the fuck was the thought? I remember laughing at you too. Like, dude, come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
No, it was. I don't think you could have a worse take. So
Yeah, but you know what, Mike? I kind of feel like you were going with a little bit reverse psychology on that.
yeah, we can go with that.
That's all fake Mike.
Yeah.
Everybody fake Mike.
Good job, Mike. Good job.
Thank
Good
you.
job.
You're
Way to doubt him. What's up? What's up, boys?
What's going on?
Super
What's
Bowl
going on?
champs,
All right.
motherfucker. Super
sweet
Bowl
it is.
champs.
We're gonna talk about the Sixers. Let's go.
Gordy, shut the fuck up.
That was Joe.
That was me.
I'm used to Gordy.
Listen, even Gordy doesn't want to touch them with a 10-foot pole right now. How could you?
Not-
I told
Not
him.
right now.
Right?
You've been telling me for years.
Fucking hate the Sixers.
You can't listen to Kenny when it comes to basketball, though. He just hates
All right,
basketball.
no.
Am I
I wouldn't
wrong
listen to Kenny on-
again? Am I wrong?
Whatever.
Not this year.
Thank you.
We have a big hockey game to talk about Thursday. No, all right. So
I'm
let's-
in. Let's go.
I know. Well, yeah, we can talk. We can touch on that a little bit later. So before we get started, I just want to welcome everybody. We got Mike, Gordy, Joe, and I think Jay's going to join us. He's had to work, late today, but he's going to try to jump in here too. So that'll be cool to have him in. But I wanted to bring the boys back together because this is the squad that we had back in the beginning when we did the Eagles Roundtable pre-season show or whatever, right before Sao Paulo. And I was listening back to it. And, I got to be honest. We had a lot of good takes, man. We had a lot of good takes. There were some bad ones, Mike.
And one of
But
the worst takes
there-
of all time.
Some
Mike and Colin Cowherd.
Here's a guy that's gonna be a bust.
So what?
Nice
Without
take that died so we could live.
so we should just let Mike's talk first because Mike, you obviously went on the biggest limb, or maybe the smallest limb, and it broke on you. With the Saquon theory. So like, first of all, what was in your mind? Like, were you just like thinking about like the injury angle?
Yes, 1,000%.
Okay.
And like a too good to be true angle.
And I can't fault that because
I can.
I was a little worried about the injury thing too. I remember
How could you not be?
yeah, I mean he's been injured.
Yeah, because he plays on the worst turf in in America, and he's got an offensive line of us. What do you think? He's gonna be healthy? Joe snapping the ball?
I just
I can pull, dude. I'll pull.
pulling center. There you go. I'm a tackle. Gordy, I don't know. You could probably pull off guard. Maybe, I don't know. Let's push it.
We'll try.
Gordy's in the dirt every down.
Gordy can't play guard. I don't know.
100%.
Gordy can play tight end maybe.
Yeah,
I just
personnel group.
I had to give it to Mike first because I just couldn't.
I mean, you didn't. That was a choice that you made, but
I had to do it. So I don't remember what everybody's was, but Gordy was on the complete opposite side of that token, and he was most excited about Saquon in green. So, I mean, Gordy, Nostradamus over there.
Except when it comes to the Sixers this year. But yeah, I was correct about Saquon at least. That was a good thing.
I don't know if anybody could have predicted what the Sixers are doing right now. So,
No.
well, that's not true. Kenny thinks he could.
Yeah.
I mean, I did. That's fine.
Kenny's been out on the Sixers, so you know.
I've been out since they hired Kate Scott. She fucking sucks.
She's not that bad.
Yeah, she is.
So what, you think she's bringing a jinx?
No, I think Josh Harris is a piece of shit, motherfucker.
Oh,
That's
it's the Josh Harris thing. Okay, well, that's fine. I know how you feel about Josh Harris.
Did you see that poll I sent you, the 97.5 one? It was like, who do you have faith in to win a championship? And it was like 1,000 votes, and it literally was 1% Josh Harris. That's how little bit we give a fuck right now.
Well, we can't talk about that right now. We can't let them bring this down. Can't let them bring this down. So I want to just get into it because I kind of want to know like what everybody was thinking and you know see how many of us like agree, disagree, whatever. So in the Super Bowl, and we'll just kind of go around the horn. So I'm just going to go down the list. What was the favorite play from the Super Bowl? From your perspective, what was your favorite play from the Super Bowl? I'll start with Mike.
the one that has been replaying in my head since that game is that deep ball to Devontae. That was just beautiful. Kenny's background, yeah. Absolutely just like perfect throw. Close second would be the Milt strip sack, but that ball to Devontae was just pristine.
I think that strip sack might be a little bit underrated. That might be a little under the radar.
Well, it should be, right, though, because the game was over.
Oh,
Yeah, but it was still
No, I'm just saying, like, as far as under the radar,
Yeah.
it more than likely is, right?
yeah.
yeah, it wasn't on the front end. Yes.
Correct.
Yeah, Kenny, I'm actually kind of impressed with you switching around the different backgrounds. Like, this is actually pretty advanced for you. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, work taking practice.
I mean, he's got Jalen Carter back there. Now he's got Devontae catching a deep ball. Like, I'm waiting for the Cooper DeJean picture of him jumping into the end zone.
Hey, don't ruin my day.
All right, Mike. So Mike picks the Devontae play, the deep ball. Joe Sparrow, where are you at?
I'm at the exciting white pick six.
Cool.
Birthday pick six.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of, I think I don't know if this is gonna work or not. because I was fucking around and I already started to listen
It's
to
a
it.
3rd and 16 for the Chiefs, and a shotgun snap from their own 24, rolling out of the pocket. Mahomes lines right. It's intercepted at the 40 and picked off by DeGene, who comes to the near side, the 30. Got it back at the 20,
good.
makes a tackle, the 10,
Happy fucking
the
birthday,
5,
bro.
to the pylon. Touchdown! Eagles have got a pick 6.
Woo boy!
That just put an icing on the
Speaking
cake.
of birthdays,
Dominant defense.
It's Cooper DeGene.
Electric. That shit was electric. Yes, it is my birthday today.
yeah, it's our Lord and Savior. Dave's
Hey.
birthday.
It's your birthday, and I know you want
Happy
to
55th birthday, Dave.
Thanks, guys. Cooper DeGene pick 6 is hard to top. Hard to top. Hard to top. Gordy, how about you? What was your like the one play that sticks out for you? The one that you remember the most?
The Zach Bond pick shortly after Coops, because that was when I knew it was over, and that's when the Chiefs knew it was over.
Oh,
could see it.
you just answered 2 questions in one.
Oh, I did. I didn't mean to do that. But yes, there you go.
Everybody studied the notes.
Kenny, Kenny, what was your play?
The Dotson catch that was called back a touchdown. I'll tell you why, right? You ready for this? Because, and I'm doing what Gordy did. That's when I knew that fucking game was over. If Dotson's getting one-on-one on the edge and getting open like that, that was it. I knew it, man. I felt that right in my loins.
All right,
That's
so-
the play.
So speaking of that play, since you just brought it up, there was an NFL Films thing that came out, and right before they were calling that play, once Jalen called the play, you can hear Saquon, and he's like, "Come on, Jahan, let's go, Jahan."
Yep.
And Saquon was hyping him up. They so the play was to Jahan. There was no that was Jahan's ball.
It
And,
was, I mean, it was off the line, and his separation was impressive. You know?
Where's that been?
I think they just were like, we're not going to throw it to the tight end. You know, and we talked about this. Honestly, we talked about this. Like, I felt like the Eagles opened the final page of the playbook. They were like, let's do the right thing now. We've been toying with everyone for 17 weeks, and here's how we really want to run this offense. And that was it.
That's fair. That's fair. I think and now we have to talk about that too. I don't think I put it on the list, but I'm definitely wanting to hear everybody's opinion on the whole offense, where the offense stands right now with all the moving pieces and Kellen Moore being out here, and then some other coaches being poached by Kellen Moore, and that's probably not even done yet. So yeah, I'll be curious to see kind of what everybody thinks about that, because I have my own opinions too. My favorite play from the Super Bowl, hands down, not even close, was the Coop pick 6. I fucking jumped out of my skin when he did that. Like, I couldn't even believe that shit was happening. And it was like slow motion, him running across the field and down the sideline. It's awesome. It's a play that I'm never going to forget. And I bought his jersey. Mostly, I love that dude now. And that play, I will never forget that play.
Nah, how could you?
Dave and I, we watched the game together, and both of us scared his son so bad that he ran into the other room crying when Coop got the pick 6.
Yeah. Grayson likes to cheer for the Eagles, but he gets scared as fuck when I cheer out of nowhere, which is what I do.
Back-to-back rounds, Rams and Redskins. I made my youngest Jackson lose it. And me screaming. Ran upstairs to my wife.
Oh, it's so good.
Needless to say, I didn't watch the Super Bowl with him.
One day they too will understand.
They'll get it.
They will get it. They will get the love and the pain, literally. Yeah. So I mean, we got a couple Coops. The Bond play was interesting, Gordy. I think that's interesting. Because that's an interesting pick, because it showed Mahomes, it showed the cracks. It showed the cracks.
He was cooked.
It did. I mean, he got hit. He got, the guard got, I think it was the guard or his tackle got pushed back into him.
Tackle.
And that was a microcosm of the entire game for them. They couldn't stop our rush. He got happy feet, and he made very un-Mahomes-like plays. Say whatever you want. He was rattled, and that throw, dude, linebackers don't pick off Mahomes. You know what I mean? He will throw a pick every now and then, but it's usually not a linebacker.
No, if he's throwing a pick, it's usually down the field.
Yeah, and I mean, Bond's exceptional, obviously, and I got other thoughts on him later that we'll get to. But I mean, it was just a microcosm of the entire first half and the entire game in that one play. And yeah, dude, that one, I knew it as soon as that happened. I said, "We got it." I don't know how else to say it, but it was no stress from that point forward. There wasn't much stress even earlier than that, to be honest with you, the way they came out, but no stress from that point forward.
No, there really was 24-0 at halftime, and I mean, like before you knew it, it was 17-0, and it was like looking like, all right, you know, 17-0. Maybe they score, maybe they get 3, 6, maybe they score. I was actually expecting to score. I was expecting like 17-7 halftime, something like that. But then the pick, and then AJ Brown touchdown. Just, I mean, you could argue that AJ Brown touchdown was the dagger of the game, because going up 24-0 into halftime, that's difficult. Like, I know the Patriots, I get it, right?
All that stuff, but like, I don't know, 24-0. You're the top dog. You're the big shit, and you're down 24-0 in your three-peat Super Bowl. Like, that is just, I mean, it's flat out embarrassing.
Yeah,
They got embarrassed on the national stage, which is wild.
Pretty bad.
Wild.
so good,
It's so good.
so good.
There it is. Kenny did it. He brought up the coup pick. There it is. With Mahomes looking all like he gave up a pick 6, which he did. Who's that in the background? Reed?
Yeah, yep.
That's the other.
The other exciting
White.
white. Oh, they're gonna start a podcast. Maybe they'll come on ours. Probably not.
Doubt it.
No,
You should invite them, though. Just throw it out there. You never know.
Yeah, well, you do.
I'll have
You
to
never
ask
know.
Cooper DeG what it was like to play for the greatest college environment stadium ever.
So you guys probably didn't see this, but Joel Klatt, our favorite,
Fucking idiot.
our favorite college analyst, put out like a thing where he was talking about the most. What was it, Kenny? The most underrated college stadiums.
Yeah.
The most underrated college stadiums, and of course he picked Iowa.
As number 1.
Come
Kenny-
on, man.
Kenny hates that whole situation.
Pandering.
Get your boy, Kenny.
All right, so let's move on. So, I think Gordy, you kind of already answered this, so I'll start with you on this one. When did you believe the game was over? Which is a crazy conversation to have when we're sitting here recapping the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Usually you're like praying that the game gets over. You're like, oh my God, fuck, we're not gonna fuck. Like it's completely dramatic. It's nail biting, a whole fucking thing. This game obviously was not that. So for you, it was the Bond pick.
It was the bomb pick. That you saw it on their faces, on the Chiefs' faces after that pick. You knew the Birds were going to punch it in, and you knew they were going up 24. You saw them hang their heads, and that team. They say whatever you want about them. They do not hang their heads. They always think they got a shot because they always come back. And as much as it's irritating to say, Mahomes doesn't lose by 2 scores. He doesn't lose by 8 or more often at all. What was it? 3%, 4%? It's your name right now, Dave?
Yeah.
Right? Like, yeah. I mean, come on. Yeah, that pick, I knew it because I knew they were going to punch it in. And I was happy it was AJ, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, actually. He was wide open too on that crossing play.
No, he could have stopped and tied his shoe.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, put a linebacker on AJ Brown. Good idea.
Good move, Spags.
Yeah, Spags wasn't quite in his bag in this game, was he?
Not on that one, no.
Well, it seems like the Chiefs completely sold out on the run. But here's
That's what happens
would
when you have
agree.
the best running back.
which is fine, but like, at what point do you stop and say, all right, it's not working?
I know.
Well, it's pick your poison, though, right?
He's
Like,
supposed to be the master of adjustments. He didn't adjust shit.
They were
No.
horrible. And has there ever been a Super Bowl where the backups have finished the game?
Oh yeah, but not recently.
I mean,
it's been a long
I
time.
wish it didn't happen though.
They
That was
gave Nick Sirianni the Gatorade bath with like 3 minutes left in a game. That's wild, dude.
Savage.
That's why they surprised him with it. He wasn't expecting it that soon.
You know what? It would be electric to have a rematch. It really would. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen. One of us isn't going to make it back. But I mean, oh yes, let's go. I see you, Jay. All right, hang on a second. We got to get him in here. What's up, Jay?
Hey,
What's up, boys?
Let's
You
go.
From the friendly confines of South Pine Counseling.
Look at that. He's still at work. Look at his high. He's workaholic
Still
over
at
here.
work. Yep.
Nice. Thanks for getting in here.
Not really.
man.
I don't really wake up until like 11 o'clock in the morning, so it's
Yeah,
not that hard. But
That's fair. Welcome in. So you can give, before I keep going, you should give me since we just got done doing the favorite play. So I wanted to hear what your favorite play was from the Super Bowl. If you had to pick one.
I mean, I probably would have said the Coop pick six before I saw the replays of everything, but the mic'd up of Sirianni telling them to run the dagger was pretty awesome, and so that's probably what I go with. Yeah.
Hi, Jason.
Hello.
Fuck you.
Are you drinking over there, Kenny? Nice hat.
Nah, I'm in my lab.
Kenny's figured out how to change his background, and it's all he's been doing for the past hour.
He's like a sixth
Loving
grader.
it.
Yeah, I know.
All I hear is click, 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 click on his keyboard. Like it's so ridiculous. Oh my god.
Oh shit.
No, I love the balls on him to just be like, if we get it, it's over. Just call it. Fucking love that. That's
But what does Nick do?
well, and I want to get to this actually. This is also not on the list, but I want to talk about this too before we wrap this thing up. So we can either do it now. All right, let's do it now. So the fact that Kellen Moore is leaving.
fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live. That's how we roll. No edits. Fucking just do it. So obviously Kellen Moore is gone, and with Kellen Moore he's taken a couple different coaches already. Is to me now I want to hear what you guys think. To me, it's very clear that the base of this offense is Nick Sirianni. Does anyone disagree with that?
No.
Jason. Jason thinks he disagrees with this.
I don't think it's Sirianni's mentality. Maybe it's his mentality. I don't think it's his design.
I actually agree with that.
That's fine.
I
What I mean by this is, I'm trying to think of the right word. Not attitude. Maybe it is the attitude or the focus of the team, or I'm not necessarily talking about X's and O's and pulling, this and that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like the base of the offense, the
identity of it.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Because to me, when they change, the first 4 games were completely different than than after the bye week. In the bye week, not only did the defense figure something out, but the offense also stepped back into 2022. And the only consistency there from that season is Nick Sirianni, Jeff Stoutland. Like it's the dudes that were already here. So like what I'm saying is I feel like at the basement level of the offense, Nick Sirianni has control in some regard. And it's been a consistent thing that he has been driving since he started here. That's what I'm trying to say.
But you could argue that Jeff wasn't part of Nick's regime, right?
But he's been here though.
That's what I'm saying. So, I just don't really know how much of this is Nick. I'm not saying. I mean, I think he's calling the shots as far as daggers and all that other shit, and letting Hurts be comfortable, calling. We didn't give Hurts enough credit. That's a whole nother story for another day. But like to allow Hurts to be a quarterback and make the changes at the line and all that shit. Like I think that all comes from Nick. But I agree with Jay. I'm not so sure any of this is his offense anymore because I'm not so sure he was really that great of an OC.
It's interesting. I don't see it that way, and I'm kind of curious to see how it all shakes out because, the consistency, the thing that's been consistent over the years is Nick Sirianni at the helm. There's been different offensive coordinators. There's been different players. There's been different, almost every other piece has been moving and shaking and changing. So the fact that they've found so much success, it just, to me, it's hard to believe that each different offensive coordinator, unless the talent is just so good that it doesn't matter who the coordinator is. And that could be an argument, I guess.
Well, I think that is something that you got to think about too. It's one of the best rosters probably in the last 30 years in the NFL. Isn't? I mean, maybe even longer. Super Bowl era. I mean, you could stack this team against any of them.
That's fair.
I don't agree. I think, Dave, it's a little more dynamic than that. You're dealing with a quarterback who's been at different stages of his career, and we all know how many different offensive coordinators he's had.
9?
But yeah, since his freshman year of college, yeah, something like that. Every year, I feel like Jalen Hurts takes something from the guy who's teaching him, and this year, if you think about and this is something that I'm not good enough at the game to know this, but one of Helen Moore's known strengths is reading defenses and having hot routes ready for a quarterback who hasn't in the past shown that as a strength. The reason I threw my finger up and said, "Is this Sirianni's off?" When you said, "Is this Sirianni's offense?" It feels like his fingerprints are on it. I think we are getting to a point where this is Jalen Hurts' offense. And I think he might be that good. Like, it's not that he's great at any one thing. We know he can deliver the ball. We know he can read defenses. The thing is, he's really good at basically everything. He's not he's not Tom Brady, sit in the pocket and pick you apart. But he's really good at every single skill. And part of that, in my opinion, is because he's had so many offensive coordinators that have all taught him these different things. So when you ask me what we saw in the Super Bowl, I think we saw partially the culmination of Jalen Hurts learning from so many different people over time. And the beautiful thing about that is he's not going anywhere.
It's a good point. It's a really good point.
I will have to give, in terms of the offensive adjustment after the bye week, where Nick Sirianni gets a lot of credit is his willingness to listen to his veteran players about establishing some sort of run game.
Mm-hmm.
He has two best offensive linemen come and knock on his door and say, "Hey, we need to run the ball more." He listened and he he suggested or probably implemented, "Hey, Kellen, I want to run the ball more." And then Kellen took that and X'd it up for him. So maybe it's not Nick's design, but it was his willingness to recognize, based on his talent, what his team is and what their strengths are, which is run the ball down your throat. And if you want to try to stop that, you're going to get one-on-ones on the outside and be curtains either way.
Toast you.
So,
yeah, it's interesting.
Definitely it's that offensive credit in that regard.
It's a good point. It's a good point too, to think about this being really Jalen Hurts' offense because, the dude is the future, and there's not many better ways to learn than trial by fire, and to have that many different coordinators, and to still persevere and win the Super Bowl is pretty. It's iconic. It's incredible, really. So yeah, it's actually really interesting. Now, what would you guys think if Nick took the OC job?
Not interested.
No,
I'm not either. I just wanted to say that. I don't want that.
I mean, we talked about in the beginning of the year, like what's Nick gonna do if he's not doing anything? And he answered that question, and he answered it pretty well. So let's not move that around. You know what I mean?
Totally agree. And I think
He's
that
really good at not doing anything. It's pretty impressive.
he's the best guy.
Killing it.
not to-
C's get degrees, baby.
Oh shit. All right. So Gordy, you already answered the question. When did you think it was over? The Bond pick. Let's go to Joe Sparrow. When did you think that this game was over?
Probably when the best defensive series in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles occurred. When you go sack, pick six.
Sack, pick.
Sack, pick.
I mean, that was it for me.
Yeah, I mean,
there's no other way to. That's if you remember, if somebody wants to look back and on the Super Bowl and you can describe it in domination in one frame, sack, pick six.
yeah.
That was it for me.
Jalen Carter. So speaking of the sacks and all that, the defensive line, and I know it wasn't Jalen Carter at that moment, but Jalen Carter was just demanding attention and being held all night, let's be honest. But on the season, Joe, I think I remember listening back, one of your call outs, I think, was Jalen Carter, and looking to have him step up and have a big year this year. And I would say that I believe that he did that. And it was fucking electric, man. And
How did 8 other teams pass on him?
because of the,
Oh, please. They fucking got Ray Rice punching women in elevators, and they're worried about a little speeding?
you're right. I mean, you're not wrong. It's more than a little speeding, but
Yeah, I mean,
Allegedly.
It's more than a little speeding. Why? He didn't run anybody off the road. It's more than a little speeding because someone else Listen, if that is like, I do that on a daily basis. I'm going to be completely honest with you. Like I shouldn't. I get it, but like, what are we talking about here? Like, he's not a bad guy because he wanted to race a little bit.
Listen, I don't.
Someone died. It's shitty. It sucks. It's
Yeah, I
terrible.
mean, I'm not going to judge him for whatever he didn't.
He didn't Harry Ruggs the situation. That's bad.
Yes, that is bad. That was very bad.
He
Golden
was
Retriever.
he was hammered, right?
Yeah,
Ruggs?
yeah,
Like,
completely hammered.
Completely different thing.
Yeah, nah,
Yeah.
that's he also killed a dog along the way.
Lest we forget.
Yeah, straight to jail.
It's fucking
Do not pass go. He also
I know you
killed a
murdered
dog.
this poor innocent lady, but the dog was too much.
Wow. All right. So, Jay, we'll just keep going around the screen. When did you think the game was over?
You remember when Ed Hockley's kid made that announcement that Luvu should stop jumping over the line or they were going to award a touchdown? That's the moment I knew the Super Bowl was over.
love
I
it.
like that.
I mean, yeah. I mean, anybody who asked, I told leading up in the days leading up to the Super Bowl, my final score was 45-20. I didn't think the Chiefs had a chance. I felt this team was just going to fucking roll them from the beginning. There's revenge on the table, and they literally made the refs threaten a team to award a touchdown if they didn't knock it the fuck off. Like, Chris Jones hurts his neck because he's sideways for a tush push. Like, this is just, it's bullying, and they've been doing it for 3 years now.
That's
Which
pretty
makes
funny.
which makes last season so incredibly interesting. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck happened?
It's a good question. Actually,
Wheels fell off, engine dropped, fucking trunk blew open. I don't even like. I've never seen a team like that's crazy.
Maybe
Right?
it had to though to wake
Yeah,
them up.
no, definitely. I
to
agree.
keep the
100%.
drive. Because they didn't just keep the drive this year; they drove it, all the way home and kept going. Forrest Gump straight out the end zone. You know what I mean? Like,
Mike, what about you?
That Coop pick six. I like the energy just shifted directly into the Eagles' favor at that point. And I mean, it was already going that way, but I feel like that pick six really solidified it. And then you just had Bond with the icing on the cake after that. And it
Which
was-
is crazy, right? Because when in the world would we ever think that, you know, a game that's 17-0 in the second quarter in the Super Bowl against the Chiefs is over? Like,
yeah. I mean, I think at that point I said to Brianna, like, it's over. And then I got yelled at for saying that.
that,
But
was the superstitious. Yeah.
but now, Coop.
17-0, Colin Curtains. Kenny, what about you?
Dotson. I'm serious. I'm not messing around with that. They were gonna bully the shit out of them.
So
I
you
knew
felt like once you saw that play, you're like, there's no fucking chance in hell.
Our third
third wide receiver just got
who hasn't done shit all year besides run good routes, distraction, and block is 1-on-1 against your corner and just toasted him. I mean, absolutely. The separation was incredible there. I knew it was over.
I would like to send a personal shout out to Jahan Dotson for going down at the 1 yard line and allowing Jalen Hurts to get that anytime TD and cash that bet. Thank you, sir.
Me too, because I almost put money on Jahan Dotson at touchdown.
Yeah.
Almost.
You would have been sad. Yes. So I have one. I have one that no one has said. Here's mine.
Why are we doing this? You guys fucking with me?
No, can you not hear it?
No.
I can hear it.
That's funny.
I can hear it.
That's great.
Bradley Cooper's introduction.
Yes, 100%.
Oh.
The fact that stadium went wild like that, and just, I mean, and you expect it, right, for an Eagles game, but that was something else, man. In a Super Bowl, like, oh man, I get chills right now just talking about it. Like when that happened, I was like, holy fucking shit. There's like no fucking way they're gonna lose this game. And I was pretty confident going into it anyway. I really felt like they could win by double digits. I wouldn't say that I was like you, Jay, that think that they would win by 4 touchdowns, but 3 touchdowns. And you did too. You texted in the very beginning of the game. You said 45-20. You really did do that. But I don't know. It's kind of crazy when you think about it, like that's what really should have happened because the Eagles were that much better than them. But the fact that actually happened, it still blows my mind to this day.
I'm changing my answer to when the mayor spelled Eagles wrong. That really got it going for me.
Dude, she wouldn't shut the fuck up at the
Dude, she wouldn't.
parade.
Yeah,
What
that's
was
terrible.
going on?
I'm pretty sure. Hold on, let's go live. I think she's still talking at the art museum.
Someone should have put the slime machine on her. Someone should have fucking slimed her. Like, get the fuck off the stage.
It was so good when they were chanting "Wrap it
Wrap
up."
it up. Yeah, man.
Oh my god!
She's lucky she didn't catch a beer to the forehead.
Seriously. Read the fucking room, sweetheart.
So wait a minute. Am I gonna have to edit this podcast? Did the sound not play?
No, I heard.
I heard it.
It played.
Okay.
I don't know why I couldn't hear it. No idea.
Okay, thank God. Cool. So for real though,
Keep that in, dude.
huh?
A minute and a half of silence to be fucking hysterical.
Just leave it.
Yeah, let it go.
I mean, listen. If anybody that listens to this podcast, they know that it gets a little
Know how to,
fucked up.
know how to stroke at the same time.
You know, Kenny might have to go poop or something. You know, like
What do
you
mean?
just never know.
We're all on the screen, Dave.
Oh shit. I mean, for real though, if I had to pick an actual moment in the game, I would probably pick the dagger to Devontae. I think that we didn't even know what Nick was saying and all that shit, but just watching Jalen drop back on the logo and just drop that dime. I mean, there's no coming back from that. There's and Nick knew that, and I mean, we all know that too. But you make that play, and the game you just took their hearts, and that's what happened, and it's fucking awesome. It's awesome. This never happens to us. I know that's Negadelphia, but let's be real, right? This doesn't we don't get to enjoy things like this. So that's why I really hope that they figure this shit out moving forward. But I don't want to get there yet. I don't want to get to the free agents yet because we have to do one more thing. And I want to know who you guys would have chosen as your MVP of the game had you can't pick Hurts. Obviously, Hurts had a great game, led the game in rushing yards, dropped dimes all over the fucking field.
Kenny, fantastic, Kenny.
Yeah. Okay.
I should say that I almost bailed. I'm not feeling myself today, and I really wanted to go home, but I did not want to get accused of dodging the heat tonight. So I'll take it. I'm here for it. But yeah, still fuck that guy to some extent, but it's fine.
For those of you who don't know, Jay is a very known Slay hater, Darius hater. And you know, it's for Jay has his reasons, and you know, it's fine. But the dude has played well, and you know, was probably a very important leader for this defense. Veteran leadership. You know, in some of those mic'd ups that you see on the sideline. Another leader that I think, and I'm kind of jumping here, but the stuff that Zach Bond was saying to people on that sideline, man, you can't let that guy leave, right? I mean, you can't let him leave.
Howie will have to do something he's never done.
Pay a linebacker.
Yeah, so I mean, I think he finally might have seen the value.
Well, he's also never paid a running back.
True, it's very true.
So, Kenny, since you're talking, who would be your MVP?
Jake Elliott, baby.
Comes from the depths and just knocks them down, knocks them dead every.
Worried about fucking me? You worried about me? Nah, I'll hit them. I'll hit that 50-yard first one all year.
What was going on with his leg that night?
I think I said something a couple times in the podcast. Like, Man's probably a really bad holder. Like, if you watch some of those condensed versions and you watch Man hold the ball, he fucking holds it weird. And they said that he was hurt. So I think that final, you know, couple 2 weeks there was kind of nice. But he played the whole season hurt, apparently. But I don't know. Like, there's no dilemma, right? You got to keep forging forward with Jake Elliott, right? 30 years old. He's not a massage parlors. So
he's a kicker. Like, who cares? What are you going to do?
Yeah, you know.
I hate kickers. I can't believe you just picked a kicker for the MVP. You're such a dickhead. Gordy, what do you want? What do you think?
Zach Bond.
Zach Bond.
I gotta go Zach Bond.
Great choice and a great fucking interception off the turf.
Phenomenal catch, dude. Fingertip
Linebackers
control,
don't make that pick.
the whole nine.
You're right.
No,
You're right.
No, they don't. They don't. That's a DB pick right there. That was a phenomenal play.
And on one of the mic'd ups, I also heard him saying that he was going to get one.
Did he?
And he fucking
That's
did.
what happened.
I didn't see
Right
that.
before it happened, he said, "I know it's coming. I'm going to get it."
He did. It was right before the series happened, man. It was fucking crazy.
That's awesome, dude. That's the kind of thing that just lets you know, like, it really was just a meant to be absolute ass kicking demo job beatdown. That's exactly what it was.
They came into that stadium with fucking a mission, man. Joe, how about you?
I think it's not going to be on the stat sheet, but Jalen Carter took all the attention and let everybody else eat.
Mm-hmm.
You're not getting that, you know, Nolan Smith, Jalen Hunt, Josh Sweat had their
I forgot about Nolan Smith.
just one-on-ones. Even Milton Williams when he was in, they just had to beat their guy. That's all he had to do.
Yeah. They don't get one-on-one if he's not taking up a double team.
He still got pressures when he was getting doubled. He was getting held. He was just a force, and they much like their defense focused on Saquon, their offensive line, whatever lack of talent they had focused on him.
Jay, how about you?
Yeah, I'm really happy everybody's giving it to the defense. I think the defense deserved it, to be completely honest with you. I would be okay with any of the people that were said so far, but you know, it's hard to beat 2.5 sacks in the Super Bowl, and Sweat was not far from 3.5, I think.
Yeah.
I didn't hurt that I put $100 bet on Sweat at the beginning of the third quarter, but you know, beginning of the fourth quarter, whatever it was. It was like a last ditch $100 to win like 6 or something like that. So it was a good deal, but didn't pan out. So I'll go Josh Sweat.
Nice. I like that show. I like that pick. Mike, what about you?
Yeah, himself.
I was also going to go Josh Sweat. So thanks, Jay.
Josh Sweat,
Didn't
6.
mean to steal your thunder.
Yeah, he was in a lot of in a lot of plays. What?
6 tackles, 2.5 sacks. You can't really, ask for much more.
I think it's hard. It's a hard pick. I mean, it's definitely would be for me defensive side, but I think I would go Milton, and mostly because to have two sacks and one of them be a fumble, that's a big impact for a defensive for a tackle. And I mean, it's hard. Would he actually win it over Sweat? No, probably never. But I just figured I'd pick somebody different. Really, I honestly would probably have picked Cooper DeJean because that play pretty much changed what's happening. I was getting warnings, fucking signs and shit. That play changed like everything. And I think that can't be discounted for sure in the grand scheme of that game. So now that we've gone through the game and we've talked about all that shit, we have they have some business to take care of coming up, and it's the free agents. And there's a lot of them. So my question to you guys was for you to pick your top 2 that would be your must signs. And Mike, I'll start with you. So let me just run down the list. It's a pretty lengthy one. So there's Bond, there's Sweat, there's Milton, Brandon Graham, Mekhi Becton, Fred Johnson, Avonte Maddox, Rick Lovato, Kenny Gainwell, Oren Burks, CJ Uzomah, Jack Driscoll, Nick Gates, who was cut, and LaRaven Clark. So, that list being said, who are your top 2? Jason.
God. Bond for sure. I think he's number 1 for me. Part of me wants to say Becton and get a defensive lineman through the draft, but I don't know. It's tough. I'm going to say Becton because I don't want that O-line being messed with.
Okay, so you're going Bond. You're going Bond Becton. Kenny.
What?
I've heard nothing but.
I got a good one. This is gonna be my best one yet.
Lean back so we can see it.
That's good stuff.
Is that Big Dom in a gladiator costume?
It certainly looks like it.
What?
I accidentally wrote "by Dom" and that was a mistake. That brought up some weird shit.
That's why I got all those warnings.
Yeah, exactly.
The podcast is getting hacked.
All right, Jay. Who are your top 2 targets in free agency?
This is really hard.
Of the list of guys that we are losing.
Yeah. Are you? I don't mean to make this more complicated than it is, but I'm assuming you're considering the money involved.
Yeah, I think you have to. Also, I don't think Nakobe Dean was on that list, was he?
He's not a free agent.
He's not technically
he's
a
not
free
free
agent.
agent.
He's on one more year, right?
Yeah.
I probably go Bond and Becton as well. Mostly because I think you're going to get sweetheart deals from both of them. Bond has already tried to be a pro somewhere else and he wasn't a good linebacker. So he could easily go somewhere else and burn out. I think he knows that. I think the Eagles know that. I think the rest of the league knows that. Becton is I don't know. I mean, I guess I could see him leaving, but it's pretty clear that he feels at home here and he'll stay here if you give him the opportunity to. That doesn't change the fact that I think Milton Williams is a monster and is probably the best player that they're going to lose. But I don't think you can keep him. So
And you think that's just straight up because of money?
yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt that he wore a Clutch Sports jacket into his fucking goodbye interview in the locker room. That's not a great sign.
Yeah.
He gone.
Yeah, I think he's Javon Hargrave. I think he's going to go get a bunch of money, and he's going to play great for whatever team that is. But we have the luxury of having 3 great defensive tackles right now, and you don't get to do that in the NFL. So they're going to have to go. I mean, Ojima looked pretty good. He's got some good stats backing him up, so I don't think the cupboard's bare there either. So you just, I mean, as far as what it's going to cost, his intent on leaving, and what you have behind him, it's just probably not worth it at the end of the day, even though he's an incredible player.
And he's only 25, which is crazy.
Yeah, which is, I think, when we signed Javon Hargrave, I think it's the same situation, basically.
Yeah, and I think the problem with that is that, like, you kind of have to pay. Like, you can't pay 2 huge defensive tackle contracts, and obviously it's pretty obvious that the one that they're going to hitch their wagon to is Jalen Carter. So knowing that you're going to pay Jalen Carter, you can't really offer Milton the bag, right? In my opinion. Joe, what about you?
Same for me, man. Vaughn and Becton. You're going to lose Sweat. You're going to lose Milton Williams. You're going to get good compensatory picks for both of them, probably 4s.
Sure.
Yeah, depending on how much they pay Milton.
Do you think?
But you got,
Do you think that they'll set a limit on what they'll spend with Becton? I know that he was failed in his past, right? And he kind of was like a misfit type dude, and he's found a place here. But what do you think?
That's going to depend on what offensive linemen. You got, they get a lot of money thrown at them. The fact that he didn't work out at another organization, and he's quote unquote injury prone before he came here, and the only people could say that the only reason he succeeded was because of the other offensive linemen around him and the coaching, and so that might work in the Eagles' favor. He's still really young, so we might lose him too. But I think they'll find a way to keep him. Vaughn's just way too important, and there's no depth there. Jacoby Dean's, he's playing well, but he's hurt. The defensive tackle, you got a Joe Moro Ojimo, and then you got Jalen Hunt, at your edge, coming up hopefully. And then this is supposed to be a really, really deep draft for a defensive lineman. So just for depth and spending purposes, you're going to have to probably lose both Milton and Josh Sweat. But you got to keep on and do what you can to keep Becton. But I wouldn't go nuts. You seem like Tyler Steen. I'm not saying he's going to step right in and fill Becton's shoes at guard, but I think he would suffice. And you never know. The Eagles might value him under Jeff Statlin as, they maybe think he could be Lane Johnson's replacement if they can't find anything in the draft eventually. But it all depends on how the Eagles value him and how everybody else values him. But I think they find a way to keep Becton and Vaughn. Definitely Vaughn.
Yeah, I think you're right too. Do you guys think that they'll look to extend Nakobe this offseason?
I think it's too early to tell.
It's a major injury you got to come back from.
Yeah.
Right, but so wouldn't you try to extend him now on a cheaper deal?
I get it. It's 2 ways to do it, but that's what I was going to tell you is that I think you put your money in Vaughn, and you put your money in the supporting cast as far as Fred Johnston, Gainwell, and Orlin Burks. That way you have some money. It's available. You put Steen in between Lane Johnson and Cam Jurgens. You could almost put, I don't want to say anyone there, but do you know what I mean? You got Hall of Famer and you got a fucking really good center. So you can kind of hide there. And Steen, every time he filled in last year, he was pretty productive. So I think you get Bond and you get those little tiny pieces around him, and then because you're gonna need money, you know what I mean?
I think that they could honestly sign Bond, Becton, and those pieces. Do you?
Did they come up? Did they
I
come
don't know.
up with the-
Becton's giving me Hargrave vibes.
Really?
I think he's gonna chase a bag. I really do. But I could be wrong.
But if he does
His
that, then you-
contract coming out, he was highly drafted. What was his number?
7?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
He made $5 million this past year with the Birds,
On a prove it deal, right?
pretty much.
I
Here's the
proved it.
deal: are they proving it, and is he signing as a guard, or is he signing as a potential tackle of the future? Because that will change.
I
what
agree
that
with you.
contract's
That's a
gonna
good.
be.
That's a good point. Jim and Joe brought that up too. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I mean,
They,
like
they
if
didn't come out with the cap yet, did they? For this year coming up.
I haven't heard the number.
I haven't seen it, yeah, I don't know. I would go back.
Did you
Sign.
I want back.
did you guys see the story about the number in 2030?
No.
No. Do they have another TV deal to make it huge again? Like,
Yeah, and they
Well, I know
changed-
Netflix is getting involved in like some
Yeah,
of the games.
so-
They're-
before the Nielsen ratings did not count streaming services. And now that they are counting streaming services, football's an even bigger share than it was. And so football's numbers is going to go way up even from what it was previously because of the number of people streaming it. So the 2030 cap number is supposed to fucking explode. And that's relevant when you're talking about Howie backloading contracts and like void years and all that shit. So like I do see that being a factor in some of this. I don't know how much of a factor, but
That's a
Well,
good.
you know he's going to do some readjusting in off season. He's going to,
well, there's some guys that will not be back, right? Like,
Yeah, you're right.
We're gonna.
There'll
you're
be,
not gonna
there'll be
have,
some restructuring, and they'll probably bonus some guys out and shit like that.
Bradbury will be gone.
There you go. I was just thinking, I'm like, who's the corner that was hurt? Bradbury will be gone. His contract comes off the books. I don't think Slay's back.
I think they're going to
Whether-
sign him cheap.
Whether he retires or whether he goes back to Detroit.
Cheap,
1
Kenny.
year too late. No, I'm just kidding. That's a joke.
I think a fair deal is what like he's not going to get a Jason Kelce 1 year, $14 million deal, but they could get him on a 1 year. He wants to play one more year. I don't see them saying fuck you. You know what I mean?
No,
just
I don't
won't.
think they'll. I don't think they'd say that either. But I do see them if he wants to get paid and wants a bag for a year or two. I think they say go ahead because
Yeah, but
they
he's
can
already
let the young kids play. Look
he's
how
made a
good
lot
that
of money.
defensive backfield is. He has made a lot.
So,
But it's time to turn that defensive secondary. They learned from him. Time to let the young kids do their thing, and let Slay ride off into the sunset as a conquering veteran hero and a captain.
Would you give him
Because it ain't
10?
gonna
Would
get
you give
anywhere.
him? Would you give him 10?
No,
I
wouldn't.
don't know because I don't know what the rest of the contracts look like. Like
If it
that's hard.
means I lose Becton or Bond, no, I'm not keeping.
They're
Slay.
not going to lose Bond. They're not going to lose him.
I don't
I
want to lose
think Howie-
Becton either.
Here's a question that we're not really that no one really wants to face. I don't think is Bond.
And I don't want Gainwell back. By the way, sorry, Kenny, I don't want Gainwell back because why do we need him?
Oh, here we go. This is gonna
need a
set. This is
fucking
gonna
backup.
be. This is gonna set a fire right now.
You need a who? You need a fucking backup. Who are you going to sign? Fucking Rick Covey?
Was
Miles
Shipley's not
Sanders.
anything? No,
Oh.
Miles Sanders.
Grant
Miles Sanders.
Will Shipley.
Shipley's fine. He can do exactly what Gainwell does.
I agree.
He can't catch it.
Yes, he can.
How many catches
Wasn't he
did he have this year?
Wasn't he returning kicks and punts? I think he can catch the ball a little bit.
Yeah,
He can
catch the
catch.
ball.
Kenny loves Kenny Gainwell. It's so funny. It's like a weird
Kenny loves
thing.
Ken. Kenny
He
loves
has
Kenny.
he has
We
a
have the
weird.
same name. We have the same name, guys.
Here's something that I want to bring up though. Do you guys think that Bond is capable of replicating what he just did?
No.
I think he's capable of having another very good year. Do I think he's capable of doing that?
I think
It
that's
depends.
I think that's something that has to be thought of. I don't know like what type of contract that they'd be looking to give him? Probably 3 years or something. I
3
guess.
years, 10 mil.
That just means that they need to sign Sweat if they're worried about him reproduce, like doing again, right? Producing at that level, because it all starts from that front four, and then
I think they're
everything
gonna-
else becomes easier, right?
Does anybody think they can get off the Huff contract?
That's not worth the dead money. It's not worth it.
Not this
No,
year.
I don't mean cutting them. Do you think another team would trade something
Yeah,
for
the
him?
fucking Colts.
I guarantee you right now that
Only
Howie,
needs to be one. There only
Howie
needs
is
to be
calling
one.
literally every one of those motherfuckers like wheeling and dealing, trying to get Huff the fuck off this roster because that contract is a fucking boat anchor. $29 million cap hit. It's a fucking boat anchor.
Mhm.
He stinks.
Wait,
Well, he stinks for the Birds and for our scheme for whatever reason, right? Because
This
they like guys that can rush but also drop back in coverage, and he apparently can't do it for whatever reason. So,
these cap hits are not that bad though.
Huff,
did you pull it up?
Yeah.
if they cut him, if
Yeah,
they
he's
cut
to
him
have him-
before,
They have him spread out.
if
No,
they
no,
cut him,
I don't mean cutting them. Cutting
No,
them's
no,
too
you
much
can't
dead
cut 'em.
money.
okay.
But the cap hit's only 7.5 and 25 and 11.7 and 26. I mean, it's not ideal, but there's plenty of teams are paying more for a pass rusher.
No,
Correct, yeah.
that's not bad if they trade him. No, you're right. But
Yeah,
the
that's
cap,
not that,
cut-
that makes it more tradable.
Do you think there's like GMs out there that are like, we're not going to get got by Howie? Like Howie's been.
Yeah.
there's
Oh,
definitely people out there
There are those.
overthinking it. But that's if that's what they're thinking, then they need to not have that job anymore.
Agreed.
Honestly,
If you don't
because-
think you're the smartest guy in the room as a GM of a pro team, you don't belong having the job.
Howie did an interview with Jason Kelsey, and he said that if I don't make the call for every single guy and I let one guy fucking go, and I know that we could have made that deal, I would never fucking forgive myself. He checks on every single guy, and everyone that you could possibly think of to improve your team, and he's always fucking constantly looking for the next guy. That's how he found AJ Brown, and the fact that he is that way. Give me Howie until he doesn't want to do it anymore, because I mean that's fucking devotion, man.
Oh yeah.
So my picks, I would go Bond. I would go Bond. And I like now that we've talked all this out, it really does depend on a lot. There are factors here. I like having Becton. I like having that security blanket on the offensive line. I do think that they have Steen that they could plug at guard, and I think they could draft an offensive lineman, especially deep in the first round. But I don't know. I'm honestly not too worried about it, to be
They need a
honest.
tight end.
Other than Dallas,
Well, they're not gonna. What's his contract up?
Next year, I think.
I think he's got
Yeah,
one
they-
left.
They got to draft someone. You see Calcaterra fucking blocking? Can't do it.
Well, I
And
know.
This is a tight end heavy draft. I mean, for sure.
I know a tight end I'd like them to have.
Yeah,
Mhm.
zero shot. He falls to 30. If he falls to 32,
No.
I will
He doesn't have
abandon
to
my
fall.
family.
He doesn't have to fall. Why does he have to fall?
They're not gonna. They're not. It's gonna cost too much to move up. Bryce Huff and our 32nd pick for your third. Who says no?
Third.
I think if they
Have
traded
to
up,
fall
they
a
would
little
get
bit.
that Carter
If
dude.
Tyler Warren goes third, then that team should be fucking guillotined.
Yeah, but they got him in the mid-teens right now, and you can't get up there either. I mean, he's gonna have to fall to the mid-20s
20,
for it to
yeah.
even be a question.
Yeah, for sure. And the Abdul Carter dream is dead for sure.
Yeah,
He'll sign here. After his rookie deal, he'll sign here. I feel confident about that.
And that'll fall just in time for that 2030 cap
Yep.
change.
Mm.
Abdul Carter, Eagle. Well,
He's in the locker room with the Eagles Super Bowl gear with his number on it. It's so fucking funny.
that is
So
incredible.
crazy.
Like, have you ever seen anything like that before? I've never
No.
seen
No.
that.
2 months before being drafted to a different team, for sure.
They're like, hey, look, Abdul, you can't wear Eagles gear to the Bears practice facility. All right, you gotta stop it.
He's like, yo, guys, we have a bye week this week. I'm gonna go to Philly. I'm gonna sit with Mike Trout.
You're just gonna pull an Eli Manning all the way to number 30.
Speaking of which,
I told Kenny, I said he should just pull fucking Eli and say, I'm
Don't
not
draft
fucking
me, I'm not
playing
playing.
here. Don't draft me. I'm not playing here.
Like,
Right
no,
fielder,
wait,
Mike
I'll
Trout.
go play for the Yankees.
Kenny, what'd you say?
Yeah, his I'm still looking at Goddard. He's really not that bad of a contract, though.
What is it? Speak up.
It's not really available that often, so let's hope not.
Yeah. What's his per game fucking salary?
It's 12 million cap hit. I was looking at his base salary. His base is terrible, 1.2.
No, you got to look at the cap. 12 million hit.
12 million. I'd fucking cut it. Can we save money? I'd get a tight end and got him.
Yeah, you can. It says on Sports Track as potential out of 2025. So yeah, you can. You can.
Yeah,
cut
they
him
could
at this
cut him.
point.
They could cut him and spend.
They can't. It's dead cap's 11 million.
No, 11 million pre 6-1 release. Yeah, they can't do it. They'd have to trade him.
They have to designate him post 6-1.
Yeah,
they would just designate a post 6-1 and it would be fine.
And what would it be then, Jay?
post 6-1
the cap hit-
6-1 release would be they would spread the cap hit between 2025 and 2026.
You could split it in 2 years.
Got it.
Yeah, so they would save like 6 million this year.
Right.
It's interesting.
It is
Got it
interesting.
for Miles
but
Garrett. Got it
is-
for Miles Garrett.
Is he that bad though? You want to cut him?
No, I don't want to cut him at all.
I don't wanna cut him.
He's not. He really does play a role in the run game. We can joke about it all you want, but the kid can block.
No, Jay is definitely right because I mean the other option is he is not good at all at blocking. You know what I
Right.
mean? And then you're bringing in a rookie, so then you have your tight end one is Cataracts and rookie.
Cataract.
Yeah. And
Every
I'd
time-
really like
every-
to continue to run the ball down people's fucking throats. So let's keep him.
Fuck yeah. Big Ten.
Yeah, you're
football.
right. Especially if you can go back to back, right?
You can go back then. That's why. That's another reason why I want it. I want anything to change in the offense.
God damn it. I feel that. I do.
Becton's so big too, man. I mean, what is he? 6'8"?
Well, yeah, he's a tackle by trade.
Right. So you put that at guard and let him, grade the road. I mean, dude, it's just overwhelming.
Fuck.
He's got to be a priority. He's got to be a
I
priority.
love this fucking team.
Complacency is a bad place to be, baby.
I love this team so much. I really do. It's always sad. It's always sad when like it ends and then like all the changes happen and shit. Like even when you don't win the Super Bowl, but when you win the Super Bowl, it makes it that much worse.
Yeah, but
I mean, they really aren't
so
going to
young, though.
lose. They're literally not going to lose that many pieces.
What would you guys say the percentage? This is my last question because I'm getting funny now. I've had a lot. I've had a lot of bourbon. I don't know what to say.
I got the unsweetened on tap.
What would you What would you guys say the percentage chances that this is a dynasty in the making?
60%.
Woo!
Define dynasty though.
Okay, define dynasty. So the dynasty to me would be
3 and 5 years.
in the next. Yeah, let's say I would need 3 more Super Bowl appearances, 2 more wins over the next 5 years.
It's 3 and 4 years is the traditional definition of it. So you have to win 2 of the next 3 Super Bowls.
Okay.
60%.
Oh, jeez, Gordy.
Yeah,
Dude,
60%.
15%.
I was going to say
I
20.
was gonna say 20.
20, 15. Jay, where are you at?
No, I'm gonna make you answer first, Dave, because then I have something to say.
Okay. Well, I think I'm at 30%.
I thought that a dynasty in Philadelphia was impossible, Dave.
I've heard
I
that.
thought this city was a grinder. I thought there was no chance.
I've heard that. I've heard that.
You've heard that.
Bing bop boop
So
bop.
what's your percentage, Jay?
I think you're about right on 30%, but you're at that number, baby. It's good stuff.
Yeah, I mean it is a grinder. I mean, look at what has happened here over the past 3 years. I mean, they've come out on top, and I hope they stay there. To be honest, they have the attitude to handle the grinder, and that's
What
the one
would the
thing.
team be if Carson Wentz won that fucking Super Bowl? Holy shit!
That's a great question, Kenny.
Does anyone think about? I think about that a lot.
Because if he did win that if he was healthy and he won that Super Bowl and he won the NFL MVP that season, which he would have won, there's
don't draft Hurts.
I don't care what Jeffrey Lurie said in that fucking interview. They are not drafting Jalen Hurts that season.
Although
They're just not.
They might have thought Wentz was a loser regardless.
No fucking way, dude.
You look at Wentz and you don't think loser?
Well, yeah, I do now, but we have hindsight. You're talking about in the middle of an MVP season where he literally would have won the MVP.
Well,
And-
I guess right. He wouldn't have gotten into a fight with Sproles over about being a shitty fucking
no,
team.
because he
Yeah.
would have
wouldn't
been in
have-
the Super
yeah.
Bowl and he would have probably won the MVP in the fucking Super Bowl too.
Thank God that didn't happen, huh?
No, you're right, because that would have been the stereotypical, like, literally lightning in a bottle, see you never scenario.
Yeah.
That's not what this is, and I think that's why it's so exciting, because this is not lightning in a bottle. This team is built. This team is fucking built.
Can
Second
I just say
youngest team in
something
the NFL.
philosophically? I have something very important to say that has nothing to do with sports. Do you remember how sad we all were when that happened? Like, people were like trying to donate their ACLs and shit. Like, that was fucking wild.
Jay, we were at that Raiders game though. Well,
Yeah, I mean,
we
that
were
was
there.
That was atrocious.
We were there.
But here's the thing about that, man. When shit happens in life, you have no fucking idea whether it's actually good or bad. You have no clue.
The back
And so,
end of it.
like, yeah, you just, it's so easy to overreact to the thing that's sitting in front of you because you don't know how it's going to, and what the outcome's going to be. And 89 out of 100 of those outcomes are terrible. But you are 100% right. If Carson Wentz's ACL is still intact at the end of that year, we do not have Jalen Hurts and we do not have a second Super Bowl. No fucking way.
100% agree. 100%. And it's interesting. I don't think I've ever heard anyone bring that up before. Like play that if game, like the bar room, like, conversation, like Carson Wentz, MVP of the league, win the Super Bowl, MVP of the Super Bowl. That following year, you're not drafting Jalen Hurts. It's just not happening. And,
That was a Kenny point, right? That's what's going on in Kenny's head tonight. That's pretty good, man.
well, he's doing a lot of tapping over there, so, he's got a lot to think about. He's not
What is
listening.
Tapping?
He's trying to find pictures. I don't know what he's doing.
Relax.
He's
Everyone
probably
fucking
he's
relax.
probably grokking over there. It's probably how he got that big dominant gladiator costume fucking picture. Look, now he's got fucking Hurts, or who is it? Sirianni?
It's
Wentz.
Carson.
Wentz holding the trophy that he didn't
Super
win.
Bowl champion Carson Wentz, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
to sit on the bed to watch the Eagles win it twice.
Love that.
That's fantastic.
All right. Well, listen, I think that this season is one that we will literally never forget. And I think it's pretty cool that they won a Super Bowl while we had this podcast, Kenny.
Surprising to say that. We've seen both, right?
And they've been to two, which is fucking insane. I mean, I don't even know what to say.
So
about
you're all
that.
welcome.
Yeah, this huge podcast. This is why it happened, guys.
I think it's even crazier that you're going to have a Phillies World Series when you have this podcast.
Oh.
Zero shot.
At what point do we cross out the pain at the bottom of the screen?
Well, when the Sixers decide to do something, the Flyers decide to do something, the Phillies stop drinking raw milk and win a fucking World Series, that would be cool.
I'm really looking forward to arguing with Kenny about the Phillies. It's going to be so fun.
They can't hurt me. They can't hurt me. They
Yo,
can't.
bring me on for that.
But,
All right.
but they can though, Kenny. They
Mike,
can.
I'll
They
get
will.
you in. I'll get you in.
I
They
know.
can. They can, and they will.
They can. They will.
You saw Mike Trout got moved to right field.
I saw that permanent move to right
Permanent
field.
move to right field. That's what
Yeah.
you get for signing in LA, you fucking asshole. Not even the good LA team. Idiot.
Yeah, what an idiot! He could have just moved across town and made like $500 million.
That's right. Like they over 1,000 years, but he'd get it.
Somebody would get it. His grandkid.
Not
Uh,
playing right field. He's gonna get fucking hurt again. Give me a break. He's the Paul George of baseball.
I was just gonna say the what if man.
the squint man. All right, so that might have been one of the funniest fucking comments ever.
I can't believe he fucking said that. Fuck that guy.
Daryl Morey. If you squint a little, you can kind of see it,
If you squint a little bit, we're the bottom 4 in the league, and
dude.
we're
that
number
is-
11.
Pick.
That is so sad that he actually said that. I can't believe it.
Fucking don't piss on our leg and tell us it's raining. I hate that shit. Just say we suck. We fucked up this year. We'll see you next year.
You suck.
You know?
Uh,
A lot better if they hadn't said that for the last 10 straight fucking years, you know?
Yeah, it's longer than that. That's the fucked up part, right? It's longer than that. It's 21 years.
I keep promising to let you guys leave and me leave too. But listen, do you guys think that there's more pressure on the other teams because of this?
Yeah, of course.
And I'm not just saying
the other
because Yeah.
Philly team.
yeah, like I'm not just saying because they won. I'm saying because they're proving now that they are pretty regularly not only competitive but championship contenders.
Yeah, but it's always been the Eagles and everyone else, though, right? Like, truthfully, in the city, it's always been Eagles and everyone else. So there's a little bit of pressure, but like the Flyers, you can't even talk about. The Sixers, you can't even talk about. The Phillies are like the window's like what, 3/4 closed? Is a quarter open? Like, what do you think there?
Are you that down on the Phils, dude?
No, I'm
Seriously?
way different than you.
I'm down on the Phillies because I don't know who can beat the Dodgers. Like I really
The dude. The
I think
Dodgers choke.
it's baseball.
Bro.
Kenny.
You can't be down on the Phillies because of that, though.
I can be and I will be.
But Mike, they have to play 162 games and then they're going to have to feast the Dodgers.
Dude, did you see what they did to the Yankees? That wasn't a fluke, and they added more. They're gonna be unbeatable. I'm telling you.
Listen,
No one-
you
no
got
one-
a
no one's on-
Mets team.
The Phils
You got
still
a
have the
Mets
best
team that's
rotation in
outspending
baseball.
now.
Yeah, Jay, you're right.
You got a Mets team that's outspending you now, and you got a Braves team that's going to be healthy at some point. Like, wait, the Dodgers are the least of their problems, but a major problem for getting to the World Series. And I tend to agree with Kenny that the window is closing.
I think you're underestimating the rotation, though.
I agree.
Yeah, but
I
who are
agree
they
with
gonna
that.
fucking throw to close it? They have no bullpen.
Didn't we do this already where we thought we got 4 aces and we didn't have to hit the fucking ball anymore? Like, it's not the way it works. We fucking lost. It sucked. It was terrible. Like,
Talk
we all
about
made
Roy
shirts
Orbach
that had
now.
literal cards on them with the 4 pitchers. Like, what were we doing? We're going to do that again? I don't want to do that again.
Meanwhile, they won the World Series with Joe Blanton.
Yeah.
We're talking about
Right.
4 aces.
Yeah, and then
Baseball go boom,
and then
baby.
2011
Baseball go
happened.
boom.
And also, it's an offensive league now, right? Bases are bigger. Fucking pitch clock, all that shit is against the Phillies in a way. And you got to trust Aaron Nola again. Another year of trusting him. And he's shown that you really can't trust him sometimes. Like, I'm not saying he's a bad pitcher. Like, there's nowhere else that he should be, right? Like, he should be in Philly because he's a quality pitcher. But when cards come to fucking, whatever. When the Roosters go to Roost, he doesn't show. Ah,
You
I'm
know,
all-
they
I'm
can't
all
hurt me
in.
this year.
Roosters,
They
roosting.
can't fucking hurt me this year.
it's just a little ironic that we talk about the Phillies as if they can't hit when there were 6 teams in the NL in the Major League Baseball last year that batted over 250.
And what do they do in the
teams.
playoffs? What do they do in the playoffs?
But you act like they don't have that still. They still are that team, Kenny.
But what did they do in the playoffs?
It doesn't matter what they did last year in the playoffs.
What do you mean?
It
Then
doesn't
it doesn't
matter.
matter what
It's a
they
new-
did in
it's
the
a new
regular
year.
season.
It's a new
It
year.
doesn't matter what they did last year. Then well,
It's
you
a-
just contradicted yourself, drunkie.
No, I didn't. Because you're leveraging everything on the fucking playoffs. It doesn't. This is why the other Philly teams always will struggle.
Why do you think the Eagles could be a dynasty? Because I feel like the answer is because Jalen Hurts has fucking mercury, ice water, whatever you want to fucking call it, in his veins, and he's a fucking inhuman machine that will get to the Super Bowl and not feel feelings. What gives you the idea that the Phillies have that?
I don't think that the Phillies have a dynasty. I think that the Phillies have a team that can win a World Series.
I'm not saying they can't. I'm saying who's your stone cold killer, because they didn't show up.
Second highest payroll in baseball, or third highest, and they did fucking farts against the Diamondbacks 2 years ago. Last year, they didn't even fucking show up. Vientos looked like a fucking all-star player. Vientos against our rotation.
All right.
Fuck the Phillies, piece of shit. I'm on the fuck the Phillies train, baby. Line it up. Choo choo.
No, I think they could win one. I'm not confident.
Yeah,
Not very
no,
confident.
I'm 100% with Jay on that. Like, they can do it. They just haven't shown me they could. The window was the Astros.
I think
the
that
Diamondbacks.
Jalen Hurts is the most clutch player that we've seen in a long time in Philadelphia.
And when we started this year, we said, what is this year going to look like? Is he going to show us or not?
He showed it. Yeah, he showed it.
Kudos to those boys, baby.
Yeah, it's interesting to me that you hate the Phillies so much.
I don't hate. Oh, James in his bourbon feels. Oh,
You're the one that just said it.
Text me later
just
about
said
this.
it.
Be like, you just send me a sad emoji and be like, I can't believe you said that.
You just said it.
I can't believe you said that.
Emo Dave.
Yeah, he's gonna throw on his 2005 emo records, and he's just
Don't
sitting
jump off the Woodbridge.
cut my wrist and black my eye.
Kenny, I'm going on Fox on Thursday night. I'm going to tell them that you hate them now.
Yeah, go ahead, tell him. I don't fucking care.
I am. I'm going to tell them that you don't want to do it. I'm telling them that you think Breland is no good, and I'm going to tell them that I'm going to tell
Jason's
them
from LA.
Oh, okay. Now you're throwing shade at Jason too. All right, you want to
Tell
keep
him.
going?
He's from LA. He'll tell you. If you ask him, he'll tell you he roots for LA, except for when it comes to against us.
I know.
He's an LA guy.
All right, listen. This is the Eagles podcast. Let's not talk about the Phillies anymore because you just
Go
pissed me
Phils,
off.
baby. No.
Fuck you, Kenny. All right, guys. Any final words? I'm good. I'm happy. I truly, Jay. I truly believe that this team could break the dynasty bubble. I think that if anyone has the mentality to bust through the Philly grinder, it's this team. They've faced more adversity this year than they faced in the past 3. You know, with the AJ Brown thing, the Brandon Graham on the radio, the book, like you just think about all the different shit that they dealt with this year. They just don't care. And I think that that's important for a team to make it through the Philly thing. And, I really do think that this team could do it. I would put their chances around 1-3. That's where I'm at.
Love it.
Guys, thank you so much for coming out tonight. I really appreciate y'all.
Yep. Thanks for having me, bud.
Thanks for having you.
Thank you.
It was a great season. Kenny, fuck you. I'm looking forward to a break. And I don't have to see you and talk to you. Can you call me a shithead and, that I shouldn't root for the Phillies,
Kenny, can you fabricate some pipe for me, please? Yeah, all right. Fuck you. Be done on Friday, bitch.
I literally work for the largest fucking fabrication company in the fucking world.
Then ask them!
I could have. You motherfucker. All right, we need to end it. Goodbye. Fucking ass.
Fantastic.
He's such a
The
dick.
end of the podcast, like in general, that was like the last.